Hi, my name is Justin Glover, and you are listening to episode 123 of the Results 513 show. The show where high-performing entrepreneurs go to step into their power and take their life and business to new levels. Our next guest runs one of the largest solo ad agencies in the world, and he does it from a coffee shop. So turn your earballs up today because we are talking with Igor Kheifets. By the way, if you have not done so yet, do yourself a favor, run over to results513.com/show and download the free gift that we have put together for you. It's called the 15 must-have tools to be insanely productive in your business. This gift will jumpstart your productivity almost instantly. If you're a high performer, you're going to love this, so go download it now, read it, apply it, and start winning. Finally, if you would like a raw, behind-the-scenes look at the Results 513 show and you would like to look into the future to see what is coming, you can follow me on Snapchat. My username there is Justin Lee Glover. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Before we start every show, we take 18 seconds to have a quick gratitude dance party. So as the music plays, think of one thing you're grateful for right now. 3, 2, 1. Let's dance, Igor. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Results 513 show. Thank you so much for listening in. Our next guest runs the world's largest solo ad agency over at IgorSoloAds.com, where he assists beginners and veterans in getting high-quality leads for their online business using solo ads. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Igor Kheifets. Did I pronounce your name right? Is it Kheifets? Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yep, you actually did. You're like the third person in the history of the internet who did pronounce my name right.
Sweet. Well, I've heard you say it several times, so I'm just trying to make it sound like the way you say it. So, Igor, man, thank you so much for joining me. How you doing, man? Where are you at? Are you standing down, setting up? Paint us a picture.
Well, you should picture me sitting in the middle of a coffee shop, in the middle of a shopping mall. This is where I usually work. This is my space, if you will. My team is actually located elsewhere, but I prefer to stay here. You can probably hear some background noises, kids running around. That's where I am. I like to people watch and feel that I'm like in the scheme of things, if you will. Like, so there's life revolving around me, so I don't feel like a loner. That's how I used to feel when I used to work from home.
Got it. Okay. So, yeah, I work from a coffee shop when I do writing specifically. I don't know, it's a little counterintuitive, but the distraction around me actually keeps it so that keeps me from getting distracted. So the noise, the people, I can put some headphones on and I write better versus if I'm at an office or sitting somewhere by myself and just kind of staring at a blank piece of paper. So do you do most of your work from a coffee shop or on the mall?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I know exactly where you're coming from when you talk about writing out of a coffee shop, and whenever I write copy, I usually do it over here. I honestly cannot make myself write even, an email, like a 300-word email. I can't get it to flow out of my home, out of my office. I don't know. It's just the environment has to be just right. And hiding within the noise of the outside world is just perfect for a writer.
Got it. So we're going to talk about some marketing stuff. And you have a solo ad agency. That's how our paths crossed. I purchased some solo ads from you, and you helped contribute to a solo ad product that I did a few years ago. And can you briefly explain your business model? What's the quick version of Igor's business model? What do you do?
Well, what we do is we assist people who are in the home-based business / internet marketing space, getting targeted leads for their companies, their info products, their services, usually revolving around providing financial education online, meaning that, if you're someone who either helps or teaches other people how to make money online, in many different ways that it can be done, right? Because there's many different ways to make money online. Usually, that would be a good fit with us. So you'd approach us and you say, I'd like 100 or 200, 500 visitors to my sales page over here. Here's my link. You give us some money, which is usually a fixed cost per click that we've got, and we send you traffic. We basically promote your offer to our lists.
Got it. And are these internal lists that you have personally built, or are you buying the traffic somewhere else? Where does the traffic come from? What are they getting when they pay you?
Well, yeah, it's my list. Obviously, I get traffic myself. I build lists. I nourish them. I email them every day, and so by the time I'm done building the trust with my list, you show up and I promote your stuff to the list. Now, this is very similar to the JV model where, where you get an affiliate link and you blast your list. Only instead of me going out there getting affiliate links, I now help people who really have no idea how to get traffic. So I assist them and pretty much, helping, scale their businesses very, very quickly because they now don't have to figure out traffic. We figure it out for them.
Got it. So it's a pretty simple exchange. They give you some money in exchange for traffic. You give them some traffic. So, yeah. All right. So when it comes to solo ads, I know that a lot of people that I talk to, the marketing people that I speak with as well, there's sort of a bad taste in people's mouths. So I'd like to get your side of the story and just hear, what's the quality like for solo ad traffic today? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? What does the future of solo ads look like? Like, what's the real scoop on solo ads?
Well, the solo industry is kind of like the lawyer industry, and pretty much any other industry. There is a lot of garbage out there. Right, just like if you're a lawyer, you're a good lawyer, you're always competing against scumbag lawyers sometimes. But, specifically within the solo industry, most traffic is garbage. I agree. And I don't blame people who have a bad taste in their mouth because they've probably been scammed or they've purchased faulty clicks or, out of shape leads. And that's very, very common.
What does that look like when you say that somebody's purchased like faulty leads or? Well,
you might have approached someone and you purchased 300 clicks, and they sent you the traffic, and they turned out to be bot clicks. Bot meaning as in like a script. So these are basically not real visitors. So you received a bunch of traffic to your page, and you might even had opt-ins, but no sales happened. And if you tracked your engagement on the thank you page, you notice that the engagement is almost non-existent. Like literally 2 seconds is the most that the person spent on the page, which means these were either mechanical clicks where people were paid to visit your page and then disappear, not buy anything. So it creates an illusion of traffic, or is just a script, a software that sends fake traffic to your pages, again, creating an illusion of something happening, but in reality, you've just been taken for a ride. And I've been myself scammed a bunch of times. It wasn't until we started tracking our traffic using a software, which is a neat little software called Inspectlet, which does video tracking of your offers. So if you have a sales page and you place an Inspectlet code on it, it actually records every single visitor on video. It shows you the behavior. Okay? It shows you the behavior. So when we installed Inspectlet and we started getting traffic, what ended up happening is that we noticed that we're getting 95% of the traffic. Okay, screen size is 1 pixel by 100 pixels. Okay, and the average time spent on page is 3 seconds. Now, tell me, Justin, do you know of any device whatsoever that people are using that's like 1 pixel by 100 pixels wide?
I do not. That's a little bit smaller than my screen.
Yeah, so we neither, and so basically we got scammed. Obviously, I got my money back because I had video recording of everything, but it's not a pleasant experience. And these stories are very, very common. People buying clicks, getting no results whatsoever, And what's worse, they have no way to prove it. So obviously, they've just lost several $100.
So I want to talk about that, like how do we avoid it? But also, I want to make sure that we touch on list building. You said that's part of your business outside of helping people that I think may be valuable for our listeners is really building and nurturing email lists, because you have to have this source of good traffic that, when people come to you, you've got to have a source of traffic that you can then send in return to them. So I want to talk about how you go about what your approach is for building and nurturing lists. But first, touch on how do you protect yourself with like, is every solo ad vendor, obviously everyone is not scamming, but like, is it a common thing? Is it a not so common thing? Like, what would you tell somebody that may be considering? And well, I'll tell you what, let's back up one step further from there. I know you talked about newer people, but who should be and should not be considering solo ads right now? Like we've got a lot of listeners that are business owners, brick and mortar business owners. Are solo ads something that would work for them? Something that they should be considering and making a part of their game plan?
Okay, that's a great question. So first off, if you're a brick and mortar business owner, solo ads are not for you. You're probably better off using Google SEO, Facebook ads, and target people in your area. If you're a web designer or an SEO optimized specialist, solo ads are not for you either, because you need to be catering to the folks who have a business, who release products, who need graphics done, or who want to optimize. Solo ads are ideal for people who sell info products, for affiliate marketers, people who do the home-based business opportunity space, so companies that offer a complete solution, like a system, if you will, right? So when you join, you get a link and you go ahead and start promoting. That would be a great fit. ClickBank products, JVZoo products, they work as well. So these would be the people, that will benefit greatly from solo ads, absolutely. But yeah, if you're a service provider or web designer, if you want to promote your podcast and the podcast is not about making money online, for example, that wouldn't be a good fit. But if the podcast is, and it's all about internet marketing, making money online, it's solo ads is definitely something for you to consider.
Got it. Okay, so those of the listeners that are selling information products and would benefit from solo ads, what do you look for? How do you not get scammed?
Well, that's a really good question, and I can go on about this for hours. I know our time is a little bit limited, so I'll give you the brief version in bullet points. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to look for reviews on Google. And because Google will pretty much just tap all the resources like the Warrior Forum, Facebook, and other places as well, and other networks. So what you want to do is you want to type in the person's name or the company name plus the word scam or plus the word review or results. And what that's going to do, if there is anyone who shared results that they've got with this company or traffic source, you will be able to find out. Now, here's the key to reviewing these results. If all you see is positive results, not a single negative response, that's a red flag. Doesn't mean that this person faked the results or whatever, but there has to be either neutral or negative review of a service. It's impossible to be providing a service and have 100% of the people say good things about you. I never met a service provider who was actually able to pull this off. So whenever I see all positive and not a single bad thing anyone can say about someone, that's a red flag for me personally. Now, obviously, if you see just a negative feedback, then or questionable feedback, then don't work with that person or source. And again, personally, I look for both. Like, I want to see both positive and negative. But there's a third option, that is no results, and that usually means either this traffic provider is brand new and they haven't been offering traffic services for a long time, in which case I would just stay back, or this is a fly-by-night marketer, meaning that there's a lot of people out there. This is ridiculous, Justin, but it is true. I kid you not. They create fake Facebook profiles with the word solo ad in them, and they go out advertising that they have traffic. People pay them and then disappear. So that's like their business model, you know. So that's why you want to have both positive and negative feedback, and never, ever, ever purchase traffic from the folks who don't have any feedback whatsoever. I'm talking off of their website. So the feedback on the site doesn't really count. I want you to go looking for feedback off the site. You know what I mean?
Got it. So that's a pretty scummy business model to go to that extreme.
Yep.
and basically set up a fake profile and just take people's money and deliver nothing in return. So
yeah, because there's no supervision. There is no, like on eBay or Amazon, you've got supervision, right? The network is overlooking, is looking after your best interest. So the seller works hard to get great feedback, to provide great customer service, etc. With solo ads, there is no such thing. It's like wild, wild west. And although the traffic source can be very profitable for the people who get converted, in fact, I was just talking before we got on the phone. I was talking to a very high-profile marketer who's just getting into solo ads, who's known mostly for their work with Facebook ads, and is now being able to get some positive ROI happening. So they're about to scale to thousands of clicks every week. But at the same time, because it's wild, wild west, just like internet marketing was, I don't know, like 7 years ago when I started, it is still tricky to tell who's legit and who's not. There are networks, though, that you can get on to sort of like gauge in what's going on. But I personally don't trust these networks because I learned early on that people exchange feedback on these networks. So what you'll find is that sellers have feedback from other sellers or from some fake profiles that people have created. So again, I don't trust network feedback either. I want to get on YouTube and see a video of a real customer posting results. I want to get on the Warrior Forum and see someone posting in their thread about the results they got from that particular solo provider. Got
it. So I want to know what we need to know. So if somebody is selling a digital product and we want to use solo ads and want to be profitable with solo ads, what does somebody need to know in order to be profitable? Give us the full rundown.
All right. So again, I'll do a bullet point version. So the first thing this person needs to know is that the majority of the action needs to happen on the follow-up. At least 40 to 60% of all sales will come from the follow-up because solo ads are considered to be cold traffic. So you have to get them on the list and quickly show them and answer the question, basically, why am I unique? Why should you listen to me? And what you can expect. So, with me, for example, I was just, it's funny, my business partner, Dennis, asked me the other day, he's like, is it normal that anyone who joins our list gets 6 emails within 24 hours? I'm like, yeah, pretty normal, right? Because we do really aggressive email marketing. Email marketing is my bread and butter, pretty much, and that's all I know. I'll just be honest. I mean, that's pretty much all I know, and I'm very aggressive about it. And I always recommend my clients to be the same way. So I tell my clients to email the list every day. I tell my clients to pitch in every email, which is very contradictory to the advice you get, on from other experts, and that's okay. And obviously, when it comes to the offer itself, you have to remember that you have to follow some of the basic rules of copywriting and offer creation to make the offer appealing to the crowd.
Got it. So why is it that you recommend people to mail multiple times? What have you found does it just work better, or why do you tend to lean more that way?
Well, the way I found out about it is that I started out just like everyone else. I was told to give value to my list, and that once I give value to my list, very soon my list will love me and they will buy from me. But it actually creates a completely backwards effect where you give value to your list and the list hates you when you pitch them. you condition your list to expect value and gifts from you. So by the time you're pitching them something, they're like, dude, that's not, this is not congruent with what's been going on up until now. So you almost feel guilty for pitching them, although you paid money to get them on your list and you're paying money to host them on your list. And you started the business with the idea of making money in the first place. So everything is backwards. So that is why I spent the first year trying to, this business model, which is value, a pitch once a week or something, didn't work. But then I started over. I went into the pay traffic game. I mailed once a day and one more time to the unopens. I pitched in every email, and this is how I got started. And basically, this is how I started making money. I did the exact opposite of what every list building guru said I should do.
Got it. So let's talk a little bit about list building. What is your strategy when it comes to building and nurturing lists? If somebody does not currently have a database and they have a product or a service or something that they want to sell, how can they go about, if they know the type of person, how can they go about building a list and then developing a relationship with them?
Well, here's the thing. I believe that the relationship with your list is seriously overrated. Like, people think that the relationship with the list is getting your list to like you like a friend, but that is not it. It is also not about getting your list to see you as an expert, which is another big mistake I see. But list building is all about making your list see you for what you truly are, and that is an authority. Now, the difference between an authority and an expert is that the expert is always trying to showcase his knowledge. The expert is always being probed for knowledge and kind of, the expert almost becomes a servant to his own list to constantly keep proving himself and saying, okay, here's more content, here's more how-to content, see how big of an expert I am. But the thing is that experts don't get paid. Usually authorities employ experts, and that's how experts get paid. So the entities or the people or the leaders that actually do get paid are authorities, because you don't question authority. You don't question someone in authority, you just do what they tell you to do. So by the time you're telling them to buy something from you and they see you as an authority, this is when the magic happens and you're actually getting paid. And once you've got paid, you can show them how big of an expert you are with your deliverables. So that is why the value model didn't work for me. Because giving value and sending people off to blog posts is sort of telling them, look, I'm an expert. But selling every email is saying, I believe in what I'm selling, I am an authority, buy. Now, how to do that specifically is a very good question. And in a nutshell, I'm going to say this. Stop talking about your product and instead focus on writing emails about your market's biggest insecurities, fears, and frustrations. And when you do that, what's going to happen is they're going to see you as someone they could rely on because you get them, because you understand them. You know the old saying, Justin, don't talk to me about your weed whacker, talk to me about my crabgrass?
Yeah.
So that's what people want. They don't want you to be talking about your solution and how great your product is. They want you to talk about their problem, because that's how they know who they can and should listen to. Now, once you got their attention in the email, then you can pitch your product, just send them off to the website, to the sales page of the sales video, where now you offer the solution to that problem.
Got it. How do you nurture your lists? What is your process for nurturing a list?
Dude, I don't. It's counterintuitive, but I don't nurture the list. That's the last thing I do. I think I push people back more than I nurture them. I think I try to alienate as many subscribers as I can as early, as I can, because the approach that I have for list building is, this is how I am. These are my beliefs about marketing, selling, list building, email, etc. And if you agree with me, great. I can show you more of that. But if you don't, you should just get off my list. So, in other words, I'm not trying to get my list to like you. You see, that's the same approach I took on with women. I really tried to be the nice guy with women. Never worked for me. I always, they always just walked all over me. And they basically never paid attention. Or the ones who paid attention, I quickly got into the friend zone, which I could never get out of. So instead, when I started, treating women like my younger sister, making fun of them, poking them, and not really trying to get them to like me, and instead having them wanna make me like them, the dynamics changed in a big way, and all of a sudden I get to choose which woman I want to date. And so obviously this goes into psychology and a lot of different things where we won't have the time to talk about on this call, but I do recommend reading the book The Game by Neil Strauss, and any other pickup as in the art of picking up women book or course or seminar. And the more you study this dynamic between man and female, the more commonalities you'll notice between a list owner and a list, because that's how most list owners treat their lists. It's like they put them on a pedestal and they try to please them, when in reality, it ain't, you need to be doing the complete opposite to create this dynamic where they want to have more of you in their inbox every day, and when you tell them to buy something, they actually listen to.
Got it. Very cool. So the more you learn about dating, the better list owner you will be.
The better marketer and list owner you'll be. That's right.
Awesome. So Igor, thank you so much. You have a podcast. I want to talk about that. What's the name of your podcast? It's List Building Lifestyle, correct?
That's right.
All right. So tell us about the podcast. What do you talk about on there? Who's it for? Why should people go listen?
Well, this is for people who got into the paid traffic game or considering to get into the paid traffic game, especially solo ads, and they want to learn how to convert more leads faster, how to make big money with small lists, so to speak. Because what I talk about on the show is pretty much this sort of stuff. It's the things that almost no one else talks about when it comes to list building, email marketing. Because if you get into list building, if we just pretend for a second, I got into list building yesterday and I go looking for advice, all the advice I'm getting is the same advice I got 8 years ago, 7 years ago, which is outdated, rehashed, and simply misleading. Give value to the list, don't email the list every day, don't pitch in every email, send them off to your blog and hopefully they're going to like you, and all that stuff. That stuff doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So in between talking about that stuff, we also talk about beliefs about money and success. I interview $1 million earners from different companies, copywriters, experts. You made a guest appearance on the show, which, the episode is going to be published in the near future. So basically, the mission we have for our listeners is to raise awareness as to which habits and behaviors one needs to develop in order to start making big money with their list.
Got it. I love it. So where do we listen to the show? I know it's in iTunes. Just search for the List Building Lifestyle. Do you have a short link or anything that you can give people to check out
sure.
the podcast?
Sure. You can just go to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/iTunes or listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/blog if you're on Android, because turns out there's still people out there, Justin, who use an Android device, which is, as an Apple fan and just an Apple geek, I pretty much own their entire product line. It's just so weird to me.
It's the Apple fans are true fans, that's for sure. I have Apple devices as well, but I know people that have Androids, so I'm going to remain neutral on that argument there. So definitely go check out Igor's podcast. It's a great podcast, The List Building Lifestyle. It's on iTunes. So check that out. Also, you have, what is your website again? It's IgorSoloAds.com, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I don't know if we have the page that we set up for our people, if that is still set up, but I know at one point it was IgorSoloAds.com/513. So that's something special if you're interested in doing solo ads and getting some traffic for your information or affiliate product. Definitely go check out Igor at IgorSoloAds.com/513. There is a special deal there that just can't get anywhere else. So, Igor, man, thank you so much for hanging out on the show and chatting list building and solo ads with me. I appreciate it. And maybe we'll have you again to talk a little bit further about this topic.
Well, I would love to, and I appreciate the opportunity. I hope that, the listeners got value, and always a pleasure chatting with you, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much. Talk soon. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope your earballs enjoyed it as much as mine did. I'd like to give a special shout out and thanks again to Igor Kheifets for coming on the show and giving such amazing value. If you got value from today's episode, we would love it if you would share it with someone else who you think will get value as well. And be sure and subscribe to the show on iTunes by going to results513.com/iTunes. Or if Stitcher is more your thing, you can subscribe there, results513.com/Stitcher. If you would like to get the full experience of today's episode, the notes, the links, videos, everything, head on over to results513.com/123. Also, if you have not done so yet, do yourself a favor, run over to results513.com/show, download the free gift. It's called the 15 must-have tools to be productive in your business. If you're a high performer, this is perfect for you. So go download it, and we'll see you in the next episode.